Accept procrastination as part of human nature. We all procrastinate from time to time. We watch TV instead of finishing a work report or decide to chill, even though the house needs cleaning. We put off unpleasant or long tasks because our brain wants instant gratification, and sometimes we don't know how to resist it. We fall into the trap of immediate pleasure, which is difficult to notice. Procrastination is a habit, which means it is breakable. Although delaying things is a normal part of who we are, how harmful is it to our personal development? When does it become a dangerous habit that prevents us from achieving our goals and poses a risk to various areas of our lives? After all, it's hard to feel calm and happy when we're delaying essential tasks. Despair, regret, and anxiety are frequent companions of procrastination, preventing us from relaxing and enjoying ourselves. Is it possible to take control of this pattern and reduce its negative impact on our lives? Definitely yes. You may delay, but time will not, and lost time is never found again. Benjamin Franklin. This summary will introduce you to universal strategies and approaches to combating procrastination. That will help you prioritize the necessary tasks, regardless of why you avoid them. There are many reasons why we postpone assignments. Fear of success and perfectionism are just two, and here we will discuss more about them. By applying anti-procrastination tactics, you will know how to resist the tendency to delay and increase your productivity. You'll discover what hides behind the eat the frog first technique and realize the dangers of endless to-do lists. Ready to reorganize your life and overpower your inner procrastinator? Then let's begin our journey. Key point 2. Discover why you procrastinate and how to overcome it. Although we all put off tasks sometimes, we have different motivations. The reason might be our backgrounds, psychological traits, or living environment. Unwanted results don't mean we're untalented or incompetent. They only signal we need to change our tactics or approach. Here are some typical reasons we delay or put off tasks. Fear of failure. When starting work on any project, we can never predict how well we will do. There is always a risk of making mistakes or unpleasant results. Negative experiences in the past only increase our fear. However, if we recognize the fear of failure as part of our development, we can deal with it. Defeats teach us and show us the path to success. Think of it as an opportunity to test your ideas and skills and gain hands-on experience. Fear of success. Sometimes success scares us just as much as failure. Career and personal growth are often not only about new opportunities, but also about greater responsibility and stress. We are afraid of being unable to cope and not living up to the expectations of others. Ask yourself what will happen if you attain your goal. Meeting face-to-face weakens any fears. Also, think about whether this achievement aligns with your broader objectives. If so, take it as confirmation that you are moving in the right direction. If not, this accomplishment will have little impact on your life, so don't worry about it. Unwillingness to make an effort. Achieving some goals requires many hours of consistent hard work. Realizing the magnitude of the effort required to master a new profession or write a book, we can experience frustration and demotivation. However, we can cope with complex tasks if we develop a system. The successful implementation of large projects often depends less on the number of efforts than on their regularity. Make it a habit to work on your project for an hour or two every day. It doesn't seem so big anymore, does it? Inner prejudices and beliefs. Sometimes we downplay our abilities and talents instead of inspiring ourselves. Of course, this leads to self-doubt and, ultimately, a complete reluctance to act. The good news is that you can stop this internal flow of negativity. If your inner critic whispers that you won't be up to the job, try challenging that statement. Think about all your past achievements and victories. Also, learn to accept praise and sincerely appreciate it. Key point 3. Beyond the myth of laziness. When we feel unwilling to go for a run in the morning or work on a project, we often call ourselves lazy. People consider laziness a negative trait that hinders our personal development. But sometimes, it's just a normal reaction to a trigger that signals something deeper, like a lack of interest in the task, low self-esteem, or fatigue. Both procrastination and laziness interfere with getting things done on time, but they're different. When we procrastinate, we only postpone tasks for the future, and when we are lazy, we often do not plan to implement them at all. Knowing this distinction helps us choose the right tactics to regain our productivity. Ask yourself why you are procrastinating. Do you plan to come back to it later? A negative answer means that a particular goal doesn't make sense anymore. It is normal because our aspirations and interests change over time with our development. However, if the answer is positive, it may indicate that laziness has become a habit. Fortunately, we can change patterns and choose ones that improve our lives. Action helps to overcome laziness. Often, we wait to feel motivated and inspired to act, but in reality, this state is fleeting. Developing a rule to start something despite negative thoughts and prejudices is much more effective and keeps our aspirations relevant. Fighting procrastination requires self-reflection and paying attention to our needs. Boredom is another common reason why we put off important things. Sometimes it's not that we've lost interest in a specific field of activity, but that we must choose the proper format. The next time you don't want to go for a morning run, consider whether this is the sport you love. Changing the approach and atmosphere can eliminate boredom and regain interest. Procrastination can give us many clues about what stage of life we are going through. Sometimes it indicates a crisis and transformation, and sometimes the need to rest. If we dig deeper into why we put off specific tasks, we can help ourselves more effectively. Did you know? Procrastination is often a result of upbringing. It is more common in families where parents press their authority on children. Key point 4. Arm yourself with time management tools. Successfully overcoming the habit of putting off tasks depends on how we organize our time and space. If we develop a system to combat procrastination, we can maintain efficiency regardless of feeling inspired and motivated. Limit the time spent working on a specific task to achieve greater productivity. Here are some practices that will help you regain control of your efficiency and reduce the stress of constant responsibilities and tasks. Eat the frog first. This tactic teaches you to do the most unpleasant tasks first. Look at your to-do list and find the one you hate. For example, contacting a supervisor to agree on a project plan, making a doctor's appointment, or doing laundry. It can be anything that causes you the most resistance. You will feel inspired after completing such a task, and other assignments will seem more manageable. The 10-minute rule. Getting started is often the most challenging part of any project. Considering the scope and time it will take, you might feel stressed and reluctant to start. Try working on a project or doing household chores for just 10 minutes. This time is enough to ensure you can cope with your task. Adjust your working hours. We often procrastinate when we have too much free time. Imagine you have only a few daily tasks you can handle in 3 hours of intensive work. These are potential conditions for the postponement. Expand your list with essential but less urgent tasks. As a result, you will not delay crucial issues and will do even more than planned. Prioritize essential tasks. Sometimes you may feel like doing many things, but the workload never decreases. It happens when you focus on minor tasks instead of taking care of the more significant ones. For example, you check your mail and answer calls, but do not work on a crucial project. To avoid this, determine the importance of every task. It will help you understand where and when to put more effort. Don't make long lists. Unfinished to-do lists increase stress levels and demotivate you. Make sure your daily number of tasks is realistic. Generally, lists with more than 7 items are too difficult to complete. When planning your day, calculate how long each task might take. And if it's too much, choose 3 or 4 of the most urgent ones. Key point 5. Take care of your space and choose a comfortable pace. We all have factors that affect our productivity levels and tendency to delay. Our chances of beating procrastination will increase as we get to know ourselves better. The more interesting and exciting the task, the less likely we will switch and get distracted. Here are some tips and techniques to help you learn more about yourself. Determine when you are most energetic. We all have a peak productivity time. If you don't yet know what time this is, research it. Create a board with the day of the week, time slot, energy level, and tasks. Analyze your state for 3 weeks to get comprehensive data. If you feel more fatigued after a specific task, record it. This exercise will help you plan your working hours more efficiently in the future. Break large jobs into small ones. Large-scale projects can scare us and lead to procrastination. To avoid this, make them shorter and more realistic. For example, if you have to write an article, develop a plan and complete each item as a separate task. Avoid distractions. A comfortable space is essential for your productivity. It should be quiet, clean, and encourage you to perform. Assess your workspace and try to remove anything that could affect you. Turn off your phone and TV, hide entertainment magazines, and warn others that you need silence. Also, limit access to social media to avoid digital distractions. You can use apps that temporarily block Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Choose monotasking. When we try to do several tasks simultaneously, we create conditions for procrastination. It seems that we are doing a lot, but as a result, issues often remain unfinished. Focusing on one task in a specific period is much more effective. This habit will increase your attentiveness and lead to better results. Break tasks into time segments. As you review your daily to-do lists, determine the approximate time to complete each task. Suppose you must write an article that will take at least 4 hours. The job scope can be intimidating and make you want to put it off. But if you add time for breaks and rest, this task seems manageable. For example, you can work on an article for 45 minutes and then take 15 minutes for coffee. This approach will help you alternate intense work with relaxation and increase productivity. Key point 6. Treat yourself with love and ask for support. Taking care of yourself is the key to beating procrastination. Excessive rigidity and severity are unlikely to lead to desired results. Creating new behavioral patterns takes a lot of time, mistakes, and the necessity to listen to your inner state. Here are some tactics to help you reach your goal gently. Reward productivity. Life is not only about completing tasks and achieving goals, but also about satisfaction and enjoyment. Whenever you have a difficult or unpleasant task, follow it with something fun and inspiring. For example, after an hour of working on a project, go for a walk or read your favorite book. This tactic will help you balance work and relaxation. Avoid excessive self-criticism. Observe yourself and identify areas where you tend to think negatively. Perhaps you doubt your abilities or believe you will not perfectly cope with a work task. First, you must learn to follow such thoughts and then move on to counter-arguments. The next time you doubt your talents, remember that everyone makes mistakes and no one is perfect. Reorienting yourself to positive thinking and self-belief takes time, but in the end, it will give you strength and motivation. Share your intentions with others. When you announce your plans to colleagues or loved ones, you take responsibility for their completion. Use this tactic to motivate yourself. Share your commitment with a partner or friend who can cheer you on when needed. Choose someone you trust and who tends to think positively. Ask others to set deadlines for you. We are more likely to complete tasks on time when we have clearly defined deadlines from outside, and are more likely to break those we set ourselves. It's easy to implement when you work for a company and have a boss who sets deadlines. But if you're a freelancer, you'll have to take care of it yourself. For example, you can involve your clients in setting objective deadlines. Celebrate victories and embrace mistakes. Procrastination is often a deep-rooted habit that requires a lot of effort to transform. Therefore, rolling back is natural. Don't beat yourself up for not always being productive. Be happy when you are. Every time you finish a task on time, take a few moments to praise yourself because you are one step closer to defeating your inner procrastinator. Key point 7. Discover the benefits of active procrastination. Although we think procrastination is the enemy of productivity, we don't always need to fight it. Sometimes the best option is to adapt and accept it. There are two main types of procrastination. Passive. The tendency to delay important complex tasks until later to get instant gratification. For example, instead of cleaning the house, we turn on the TV or YouTube or read our favorite book and enjoy ourselves, driving away thoughts of work. Active. In this case, we also avoid doing important current tasks, but instead, we focus on smaller and less important ones. Although we still need to finish a crucial job, at least we're not sitting around. For example, We pay bills or make online purchases instead of cleaning the house. Anxiety and pressure from delayed work force us to look for other tasks. Self-forgiveness is a necessary step in successfully combating the tendency to procrastinate. Some researchers believe active procrastination is as harmful as passive and reflects problems with the individual's self-regulation. However, there is a more positive view of this situation. Active procrastinators still complete their tasks, although not always in the planned order, and the limited time reduces their tendency to perfectionism. If you notice a wish to replace complex tasks with smaller ones, try to accept them. Ultimately, your productivity remains high even though you often work under the pressure of deadlines. Try to prioritize your tasks, but don't be too hard on yourself, as this will only add to your stress. Guilt, shame, and anxiety often accompany us when we put off critical tasks. A missed deadline can affect sleep quality and well-being because we fear losing our job or dropping out of university. Reducing the tendency to procrastinate can bring us peace. Just imagine the pleasure of completing an important project on time. Now, share this joy with others. However, don't let completing tasks on time become your life goal. Pay attention to your state and try not to overload yourself. Sometimes it's worth asking for a deadline change and taking a little more time to complete a work project. After all, a lot depends on the conditions in which we exist. So if you feel that everything is too much right now, take a break and breathe. What separates the action taker from the excuse maker is the habit of acting. Damon Zahariades. Conclusion. You can overcome procrastination no matter how ingrained it may seem. Desperation, fear, and the tendency to put off essential things are entirely normal. Change begins when you notice procrastination and realize its extent. It means you can now fight the bias to delay and develop a new pattern of focusing on crucial things. Tactics for overcoming procrastination will help make positive changes in various areas of your life. Relationships with loved ones. You will learn to resolve conflicts promptly, improving your connections with significant people. Finances. You'll make time for all services, such as paying bills or credit card payments promptly. Health. You will not delay doctor's appointments and will find time for physical exercise. Development opportunities. You will respond to employers' offers on time and not postpone registration for valuable classes and events. Although we can overcome procrastination with the right approach and strategies, remember that emotional comfort is key. Rigid frameworks and inattention to your feelings will only strengthen the temptation to delay. Be sensitive and patient with yourself because quality changes take time. Try this. Think about what task you are avoiding right now. Analyze what makes you procrastinate. Look at your daily to-do list and explore whether there are unimportant or trivial tasks. Cross them out and reduce your list to no more than 7 items per day. Pay attention to your negative thoughts while working. Remind your inner critic that mistakes are okay and that you are a great professional.